Welcome to Two Girls, Big Cups podcast, where we sip and spill on all things tumblers and so much more. Grab your big cup, join us for tumbler talk, pop culture chats, and those juicy conversations you've been itching to have. Cheers! Hey guys, welcome to our brand new podcast. We are Two Girls, Big Cups, coming at you live on our very first podcast with my big cup. I am your host, Christina Smith, the Cupsmith, and with me is my co-host, Kelly Burns. Whoop, whoop. As I said, we're tumbler makers. We make big cups. We're coming at you today. We're going to be talking about tumbler making, anything about tumbler making, talking about pop culture. We're talking about everything and anything you want to talk about. Kelly, introduce yourself.
I'm Kelly Burns from Burns Boutique, and we are going to talk all the things that I want to talk about. Chelsea's whining little ass.
Love is blind. We are starting out hot today.
Oh my god.
First
well,
thing
it took me, oh my gosh. It took me a few days to get through that last episode. It killed me. Because
as soon as it came out, I watched that whole thing. I was working and I had my AirPods in and I was watching it. And the first 5 minutes of the show, Jimmy leaves Chelsea. And I was like, oh my God.
That was a lot in the first 10 minutes.
It was.
I was like, wait. Isn't this
and I was like,
be what you do before the episode ends?
Yes.
Did that really just happen 5 minutes in?
I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I couldn't because you're at work. And then it took you 3 more days to watch it. And
life hit me this week. Life hit me this week.
Yes, and then a week later until we're actually able to talk about it. That wasn't even the big thing about the episode. No. I feel like that was just you thought it was going to be the big thing of the episode, and it wasn't.
Because it was the first 5 minutes. And then it was okay, they're done.
I'm glad that he left her, but he also did her dirty because he was so are we getting married? What's happening? He made her say it first, too.
Yeah. Well, that was just I did love this moment though, when they were on the patio. And I'm well, how did he word it? It was how did he word that? Where he asked her take a step back. You haven't asked me to take a step back. So then she does. He's like, I'm going to take a step back. I'm
he's like, maybe you should ask me to do that. Maybe you should do that. Ask me to do it. Okay, I will.
That's the same thing. Yeah, put her on the spot and then whip the rug out.
Oh, I did not like them as a couple at all. At all.
No.
She bothered me.
Oh, it's the voice for me.
Her mouth.
It's the voice, the whining.
Which is terrible to say. I would never diss somebody for their appearance, but I think it was.
I think that's probably the first time I've ever heard you
combined with her whiny personality and her severe insecurities, and it was just on top of that it was
oh god, it was painful because literally within one scene it's you don't tell me you love me. I do tell you I love you. He gives her all the reassurance in the world, tells her everything, that it's but you don't want to be with me. He just said it.
I love that he called her out on camera too, that she was drunk too.
Oh yeah.
He's just you're drunk.
Truthfully, I wouldn't have really known because I think that's just how she comes off all the time.
Yeah, I had no idea she was drunk until he said that. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I was like,
okay, things are making sense now.
Yep.
You left me for 1 hour.
Yep. And then we both said when he was we're not getting married, we both said, all that food wasted.
I know. Forgot about that. That was literally, I think, the first thing I said about it to you. I was like, They didn't even get to eat.
That food. It looked so
these
good.
Perfect little sliders that looked really good.
They did. They looked so good. They looked so
I'm like,
good.
Do you think those are real?
I don't think it looked, well, I mean,
Like,
I guess
I
fake food
sometimes
does look
wonder some stuff, because, like, I sometimes wonder to the extent of how they stage a scene. Like, oh, okay, you're just going to go, you're going to break up, and then you're going to leave, so this is all just fake food. Like, I don't know. I kind of wonder.
I don't know. If they were smart, they would have ate first and then broke up.
Gotta get that free meal, honey.
Right. But she was right, though, when she was like, we did all of this today, and you knew?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, I didn't know. And I was like, you knew. You knew. You
knew. Yes. You don't just make up that decision out of nowhere.
No, he knew.
You've put thought into it.
Yeah, he didn't just sit down at dinner and was like, I don't want sliders, we're going to break up. Like,
right?
He knew.
Well, and I've seen some TikToks and things that kind of expose their contracts. I think they get paid, like, based on how far they go or something.
Oh, sure.
I think I've heard that. So it's like, it kind of makes sense about why you'd maybe push it as far as you do.
Okay. So
even
then,
if you're not happy, you know.
Do we think that's why Clay and AD, then he went all the way? Like,
maybe
he did her.
I love his mother.
Oh, yes.
She's such a wise woman. I'm like, how'd you make that?
Clay needs to go to therapy. Like, oof.
Yeah. That was the only thing he said where I was like, good for you. Because he's acknowledged that he needed to go to therapy and work on himself. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Clearly.
Yeah.
He's not delusional about his issues.
No, which is good. That's actually healthy.
Yeah, it's good. He just needs to, like, put it in motion, that getting help. Like, man, he did her dirty. I know. Did you see, though, I saw a TikTok where before she says yes and stuff, he mouths to her no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll send you the video. If I can link it, I'll link it.
Link it in the description for everybody
I'll link it in the description, too, for everybody. I'll link it, yep, because she's like, before she says anything, she's talking, and, before she says yes, he looks right at her, and he goes,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I was actually watching, it's of course just editing. I thought I saw him shake his head.
Yeah, he shakes his head, and yep. Oh, you thought he shook his head yes?
I thought I saw that. Now I thought I saw that, because I was like, that'd actually be smart to sort of give some sort of indication of, like, yes or no, of, like, what you're going to do.
Right.
So you don't totally, like, catch them off guard or whatever.
Right, which he did. Oh.
So I was watching for that for once. I normally don't.
He did her dirty. He did her dirty. She was in that dress. She walked all the way down the aisle.
Which, props to her, because I could never.
Right.
That slit, I'd be walking down like...
Oh, man.
like, all tucked together, like, nope.
She looked really good, but yeah, I could never either. That was a little...
I could never.
a little too close to the cooch for my comfort.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I would be pulling that together and, like, waddling down.
Right?
No way.
Right?
No way.
No, right? She looked good, though. She looked good.
Mm-hmm.
He's dumb, but whew. I mean, the whole time, he was basically saying, I'm going to probably cheat on you. Like, how many times did he say, like, I don't want to cheat on you, I don't want to cheat on you, I don't want to cheat on you?
I know. And, I can't stand when people use, like, their past as an excuse for their present.
Yeah, but it wasn't even his past. It was his dad's.
Well, but I'm still saying, like, it's this whole, I was dragged along to his affairs, and I've witnessed this, and so now I might do it kind of a thing.
Right.
Which, like, my husband was exposed to the exact same scenario.
Oh,
really? He was the exact same thing. Yes, he was dragged along to sit in the car while Dad went in and did his business. It is messed up.
That is
like,
so
yeah, that's
messed
horrible.
Up.
Absolutely horrible. Dragging your kids along to that is ridiculous. But that's why he doesn't talk to him anymore. But it's like people like my husband, they'll look at that and they go, okay, that was wrong, so I'm going to do better, and I'm not going to be that. And I can't stand when people instead, like, take it in, like, oh, I guess this is me. Like, I guess this is who I'm going to be, because that's what I grew up with. It's like, no. Use it as, like, an example of what not to do, and be better, and do better, and show them how they should have done it the first time.
Exactly.
I can't stand that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Like, that was Chris Brown's thing for being up Rihanna.
Oh, really? He said that?
Yes, it was the whole, well, my dad was a beater, and so I became that cousin. No, it's still your own decisions. You still have free will. Like, no. I can't stand that kind of mindset.
No. What did you think about Amy and... I can't remember the other guy's name. What did you think about Amy and... I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny, yeah.
The ones that actually got married.
People who actually got married.
I think they're cute. I think he needs to chill the hell out about having a baby by accident.
Yeah. He was
like
hyper paranoid. Right?
Like, the fact he's researching about getting a vasectomy that he can later reverse. I'm like, bro, like,
right?
Condoms. It'll be okay.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I was gonna say, I think that Ross and Rachel episode about the condoms went a little too much to his head.
He really took that to heart.
Was that 99%? Yeah, that 99% effective.
Yes, you really took that to heart.
He is so scared of that 1%.
Yeah, he really took that to heart. I mean,
like, I'm excited for the reunion too.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you see the trailer?
Here, if they finally have done. I haven't. I've seen like little pictures, but I haven't seen any clips.
Okay, I saw a clip, and they asked him about that. One of the questions was, "Haven't you ever heard of condoms?" So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what the response is.
I know. So
I'm excited for the reunion.
Have you done it yet?
Yeah. You better. They're married, and it was like filmed like a year ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're filming the new season. They're filming the new season in my state.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, like
because there's already been a bunch of leaked things because some people have found out who's on it, and they're like, "This guy's a." And like just
not a good guy.
All the tea on.
Yes, apparently one of the guys is not a good guy.
I want to know who it is.
Yes, me too. It's like they're filming it in Minneapolis, which is like, I don't know, 20 minutes away. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go down and catch a glimpse, but
just like go hit the night scene and just see if you can catch anything.
Yeah.
Like,
40-year-old me is not going to be doing that, but.
God, I don't know how anyone does that anymore.
There's a 1% of me that was like, oh man, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just to see. Nothing gets filmed, in Minnesota, so it's kind of cool that there is something.
I wonder if they'll ever come to Kansas City. Because it's like, I'm right by it. It's kind of a touristy.
You have enough big things. You have the Super Bowl, like... Let us have something.
You've had enough. Let me have this.
Exactly.
Let me have this one thing.
Let me have this one trash TV thing. Who else did you like or didn't like from the show?
I know you didn't like Laura.
Yeah, I didn't like her either. I think a lot of people did.
I had mixed feelings.
Well, that's what I
felt like a lot of it is just that she's like, I think she's just set in her ways kind of a person. Like, here's what I like, and here's what I like. And like, it's just like, you better be it kind of thing. Like, I think she's just very set in what she likes and doesn't in her ways. And, but.
Yeah. That's how I feel. It's not that I dislike her. That's how I feel. There are some things that I feel like she fixated on, and that was like the Hawaiian
shirt. It's just a shirt.
Yeah. Yes. And like if she like loved him and wanted to be with him, she could have found a more positive way to get him to change that instead of always being like negative about it, is how I felt. Like I just felt like she was a very negative person.
Yes. It's just like, yeah, if you're going to go do something that where maybe you feel like that's not the right look for where you guys are going or something, then say, hey, honey, I got you this nice shirt here to wear to this dinner tonight. Like, provide something else or something. And it's like a gift. And like, yeah, that's kind of a better way to go about getting to wear something you like or whatever.
Right. Or when he does wear something different, you know, just like, oh my gosh, you look so sexy in that. I love when you wear that shirt. There are just much more positive ways to.
Or say what patterns you do like when he wears them. Or, yes, there's positive ways to get them to maybe change it a little bit.
Right. That's why I didn't like her. And then when they broke up, woo. I mean, I fully would have felt the same way she did.
Oh, yeah.
She won't.
That whole like fibbing about following him on the phone thing and then like dropping it on him. Like, I did follow you the whole time. I was like,
yeah. Yes.
That was me watching that whole thing.
Yes. Yes. She was like, he was like, I shared my location. And she was like, I was sleeping. I wasn't following your location. And then 2 minutes later, she was like, well, I was following your location.
That was so good.
It was.
And then you just see his face go like ghost white, like, oh.
Yeah.
And there is no way they just sat and talked in that car.
I mean, she said the other, Sarah Ann, she says that that's all they did too. So, you know, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's on national television that you're saying all this. So, of course, you're not going to want to admit what you really did in that car on a national TV when your mom and dad are watching. And you know.
True. That's true. She's totally in the wrong. She should never have messaged him, and she tries to justify it and by, you know, I went out and got what I wanted, and, you know. She shouldn't have ever messaged him to begin with. And he's like, well, I showed it to her. Well, yeah, good for you. I mean, you should, but.
Yeah. You still went out of your way to go talk to her on a night out until 5 a.m.
Exactly.
Like,
you should have blocked her. After she sent that message, you should have blocked her. And then when you found out that she was at that bar, you should have just left that bar. Not stayed at
that I think is the biggest one, is when you found out she was there, you should have left.
Yep.
You should
have gone home to your fiance.
Yes.
But, you know, there were issues in that relationship. And that's why he didn't block her. And that's why he didn't go home. Nope. They were mismatched from the beginning, too. Just like I think Chelsea and Jimmy.
Yeah.
But now
I really want to see on the reunion, what's his name?
Trevor?
Clark Kent, serial killer. What's his name?
Clark
Michael? Was that his name?
Is that the one that, like,
didn't
didn't
Clark
talk?
Kent with the glasses. Yes! Like, he walked out of one of them, like, immediately. Like, he had a list of questions. He's like, okay, I have a list of questions. And he asked his questions. And then she asked him back. He's like, oh, I didn't know this was going to be a thing where
really
I could ask questions. And he, like, gets up and walks out. I'm like, what the heck was that?
I wasn't really prepared for that. What do you mean you weren't prepared?
What do you think this was?
And then somebody was like, oh, I'll take number 3. And he was like, somebody already asked about that one. Pick a different one. And it was like, what?
So odd.
He was odd.
I really hope he's on the reunion, just because I want to see, like, is that really you in real life?
I think so.
Like,
He was a little awkward.
So
he was
odd.
A little awkward.
So odd.
Yep. He was a little awkward.
But actually, though, when him and AD were like hitting it off, it gave me kind of a little bit of hope. I'm like, you know what? People are weird. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't speak with a filter sometimes, you know. So I root for the underdogs. Like, I'm like, oh, like, you know, there's, even though he's kind of weird, a little awkward, like, she's giving him a chance, and they're connecting. This is so great. It's so Wait, what? Wait, what? Didn't you just, oh my God. And I was like, oh, you're still a man. Like,
So both of us you've never watched any other season before, right?
I've watched all of them.
You have? I thought you hadn't watched any.
Yes!
Oh!
No, I've watched all of the Love is Blind seasons.
Oh, okay. I thought we both had never watched them before. I had never watched
you're the one that never has. Because last season, I think you were asking me questions, though.
Oh, I don't remember
because of stuff you were seeing. I think just like you asked if I was liking it because of stuff you were reading or something like that. I was like, yeah, no, this one's kind of boring.
Oh, I don't remember that, but it could be.
Last season was just kind of blah. This one has been full of like.
Okay, well, here's my idea, and I'm assuming this doesn't happen, but you can tell me if it does happen because you've seen it before. Okay. I think they should go out on dates with the people that they didn't pick.
That's happened.
Like, do they set that up?
No, like the show doesn't do it, but it's more like as soon as they're out of these pods, they all find each, like you saw it in this season, they find each other on Instagram, and like that's the first thing they do is go look each other up and message each other. Sure. So
no, I think the show should set them up. I think the show should set them up, and
I saw something. I think apparently they are maybe doing an all-star season. I think I saw that. I hope it's not real. But it was like, it showed like Barqueef, Micah, like pretty much everyone you hated.
What was the first name that you just said?
Barqueef. You heard me. That is his name. Is it Barqueef? I don't remember how it's spelled.
That's the worst name I've ever heard.
I forget you haven't seen all these other seasons. Yes, his name was Barqueef, and he was a douche. And then they're bringing back, like, Micah, who is, like, kind of one of the villains from, was it last season? I don't know. But I'm like, how's that going to work? Because if they've watched these shows enough, they might know people's voices. And they could literally just go study and watch old seasons and know voices. Right. So then when they go into those pods, they can know exactly who they're talking to. Right. So I don't know. I'm hoping that's not real, but I think it might be. We'll see. But no, a lot of them that do like connect outside of the show, and then they'll get together and like date each other. That's crazy. Or go out on a date. I've totally seen. Yeah. We've talked about it in some of the reunions before. Yeah.
Good. Well, do any of them like end up together then?
I don't know if any of them have like long term had something work out, but you know.
Okay. All right. Just thought of that. Oh my god, I can't get over that name.
Oh, your face when I said that was great. Like, excuse me?
Excuse me? Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else from Love is Blind?
No, I don't know. I'm ready. I just want to see the reunion.
I want to see the reunion too. I want to see the reunion too. And then is there anything else after the reunion, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Chelsea looks good in her reunion outfit from the pictures.
I don't know if I saw it.
It's like a black and gold.
I want to know what is up with guys in high water pants all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh, yes. What is
Have you seen all those pictures? I saw him on Jimmy. I saw him on some dude from last season. I think his name was Matt. I tend to forget their names after their season's over. I forget their names when their season ends. I think his name was Matt. I don't really know. He had like kind of blondish hair. They were an awful couple, and they actually got married, and it was like the weirdest thing.
Are they still married?
Like, I think so, because that's where I saw this picture. It was like that they were like guests for the reunion. Like maybe I don't know if they're interviewed or they're just in the studio, but like it showed them together, and I'm like, they're still together. They weren't even living together by the time their reunion episode was. Like they lived separate. Okay, they're like, yeah, we're happily married. It's like, are you sure
living
about
separately?
that? You sure about that?
Each their own, I guess.
Yeah. But he had like high water pants on too. And like Jimmy's main promo picture, high water pants. I'm like, what's up with the high water pants on guys? I don't like it.
I don't understand. My husband and I are watching, we are hooked on this other show called Traitors. It's on Peacock. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's a competition show. Oh,
Okay.
it's so freaking good. It's a group of people. It's all celebrities for this second season, and they have to figure out who is a faithful, and then there are traitors that figure out who are the traitors. But the guys in the reunion show are wearing these high water pants, and when they're sitting down, it's like their pants come all the way up to their knees. And it's like, do you not see how terrible it looks? Like, who is
So
directing you?
is this like couples?
No, they're all
The faithful and
single.
traitor? Is it
Nope.
just like they don't know each other or anything?
Yeah, some of them have been on like the same shows together, like the like Real Housewives shows and like The Challenge,
Okay. Okay.
and
Are they doing
Big
like
Brother.
challenges and stuff?
They do
Like to get
challenges to
money
win
and
money. Yep, they do challenges to win money,
so
and then
basically it's the mole.
they do a round table where they like at the end and they like discuss like who they like accuse people of, like, I think you're a traitor and this is why I think you're a traitor, and then they vote, and then that person, whoever the majority is, um gets like voted out that night, and then
Mm-hmm.
they reveal if they're a traitor or not, and then at the
Okay.
end of
That's
the whole show.
interesting.
Oh, and then that night, then the traitors murder somebody, and then they slowly start kicking people out, and then so the pot of people just dwindles down, and then
Okay.
at the very end, if there are any traitors left, then the traitors get all the money. But if it's only faithful people left, then the faithful people split the money.
So it's kind of like the mole meets like murder mystery theater.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about the mole. That was a good show too.
That was such a good show. I
That was
love
a good
that
show.
show.
Yeah.
The
Except
celebrity one was good too.
yeah,
They did a
the
celebrity
traders
mole
are
and
the
it was really
moles.
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Except the traders, they want, they want in the challenges, they want money to be won and stuff because they want the pot to be really big too, but they want only them to win it. So they want to kick out as many faithful people as possible. It's really good. Tim and I are just
I'm gonna have to watch it.
hooked on it.
I need a new show. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yep. It's good. It's good. Okay, so nothing else with Love Is Blind. Next one. We'll maybe circle back on after we watch the reunion.
I know.
I'm excited. If you are watching Love Is Blind and you have any thoughts about it or anything that we didn't touch on, leave us a comment because we want to hear from you what you think about.
I want to hear everybody's thoughts.
Love Is Blind. I know. Let's hear your thoughts,
especially on Clayton.
Oh my gosh. God, he just did her so dirty.
You know what would be an interesting drinking game while watching Love Is Blind? Take a shot every time he says AD.
AD all day.
But literally every conversation, you know AD, and AD, I just feel like AD. Like, I'm like, dude.
Okay, when we watch the reunion show, we'll comment.
Yes, because Christina and I are having a date night, and we are going to watch the reunion together.
Yep, we'll tally it in
the comfort of our own homes.
We're
going to watch together so we can talk at the same time.
Yep.
About it all.
All right, so let's talk about our next segment that we have, which is Am I the Asshole?
Oh, we get to Am I the Asshole? Okay.
Yes.
So,
why don't you tell everybody about our segment, Am I the Asshole?
Okay, Am I the Asshole is a segment that is popular amongst many podcasts, and we are going to be doing it here, but it is going to be Small Business Crafter Edition. So we will have our email in the description below, and you can send us your Am I the Asshole stories about experiences you've had with customers, maybe other small businesses, anything like that. Where you're like, did I do the right thing here? Am I the asshole or are they the asshole? So we're going to start with our first story here.
Yes, and it will be completely anonymous. We won't leave any, descriptive details in for you. So feel free to send us your stories, and they will be anonymous.
Yes, they will be anonymous, and we will not share with anybody who sent what. All right. So our first Am I the Asshole? I, 36-year-old female, run a Tumblr teaching group where members are charged monthly for access to exclusive content and tutorials. Last year, I had a new member join mid-month. I had seen her name before, but didn't exactly know her. After about a week and a half of being in the group, I received a chargeback from her. She'd been active in the group since joining, so it didn't appear to be any sort of accidental purchase. She did sign up with her husband's information, though, so I thought maybe he doesn't know that she purchased this, and he's the one who filed. So I messaged her to figure things out. She told me she lost her phone, and all of her passwords were saved, so everything was hacked. I felt so bad for her. She told me that when the bank asked her if she made the charge, she said yes, so she didn't understand the charge back either. But she said she'd call the bank the next day. I had to follow up with her the following day. She said she spoke to the bank that morning and was waiting for a call back. During the waiting game that occurred over the next couple of days, I received a message from a company that my group has a discount code for. She wanted to let me know one of the group members filed a chargeback against them. I immediately said, "Oh, yes, it happened to me too. We're working on getting it sorted out with the bank." The owner of this company then began to point out some things that didn't quite add up, and I found myself doubting her story. I decided to continue to play along and see if I could find anything else that didn't quite add up. By later the next day, I checked in again. She responded with photos of a damaged vehicle, saying her husband got in a horrible car accident that morning, and she had just been too busy dealing with that. This is not the first time I've had someone make up an emergency-like excuse and send photos to try to back up their story. So I was definitely doubting her. I told her that until things were sorted out, I was going to have to remove her from my group. The next day, I learned that she filed another chargeback against that same company that I mentioned before. 2 different chargebacks on 2 different dates is clearly not a mistake by the bank. I also found it suspicious that because then it was 2023, someone doesn't password protect their own phone. I messaged her again to tell her I found out about the second chargeback. And it was clear that this was all her. I told her she was not to resubscribe to my group, and I blocked her. Am I the asshole for assuming she was scamming me and not giving her more time to figure things out? So what is your take, Miss Christina?
I feel like I've heard this story before.
Have you? I can't imagine from where.
I don't know. It's anonymous.
I don't know. Who could the asshole be? What's your take?
The chargeback person is the asshole. She's running a scam on multiple people. Which, what for that person's group, what is that, like $15? Like,
I mean, I think at the
$20
time it was maybe 15 or 17.
At the time?
Maybe. It might be 20 now. I don't know.
At the time?
Hey, we don't have many subscribers yet, okay? Someone had to be the first. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm the asshole.
But you're not. It was the other person.
But what is funny is to this day, I still question myself. Even though I totally know that she was trying to scam me. It's because I give people chances. I give benefit of the doubt. And even after everything says, no, they're scamming you, I'm still like, But maybe.
They're
Like,
scamming everybody
I
else.
don't like to believe people are bad.
So you think that...
Even though they've proven me they're bad.
Right. So you think that they're scamming everybody else except you.
Right.
When I put it that way.
Yes. But I will say a good moral of the story is communicate with other small businesses.
Exactly.
Because that communication that was received definitely shed some light.
Oh, yeah. Because if the other business wouldn't have told you, you would have totally believed her. You
Oh,
totally
yeah.
would have.
And who knows how long that would have dragged on for, how long I would have kept her in my group for, how much content she would have gotten to see for free.
Yeah, exactly. I just think on
Mm-hmm.
that person's part, like, it's like, why are you doing that for $17? Like, come on, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think I was just on the long list.
Yeah, that's probably exactly
Because
what
in
it was.
reality, when you consider the 100 she spent here and the 100 she spent there, it's like I was just
Right.
you know.
When she probably did it to multiple people, and she probably thought, well, I can get away with $17.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I do 17 here and 12 here and 18 here, that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and I can get away with these small amounts, but if I do multiple small amounts, that'll add up. And that's probably exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Did she ever, did you give her a chance to message you back before you blocked her?
I did not. That's where it's like that's where we go. Am I the asshole? Because I did not give her a chance to respond. The second I found out there was another chargeback, I went, here's what's up. I found this out. Do not come back to my group. You're not welcome. Like,
sure. You have an email,
I can clearly see what's really going on here. And I blocked her.
Sure. But you have an email, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she could have emailed you.
Yep.
It's not like you were impossible.
She also didn't message me back the day before after her accident.
Yeah. No, my point was, it's not like you were impossible to get a hold of. Like, you could not have ever, she could have, if she wanted to get a hold of you and explain herself if she was really in the right and you were the asshole, it wasn't like there was no way that she could have got a hold of you.
Absolutely. There's always a way to get a hold of me.
Right.
If you want to.
We'll find you.
But that is an example of the kind of story that you can submit to us that we will discuss. It'll be, I think, more entertaining when we don't actually know the person.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, not that this wasn't not entertaining.
But that's your first example.
Yeah. We want to hear all sorts of questions from you. Tumblr questions, if you have questions about clay, if you have questions about epoxy sculpt. Kelly is a expert about epoxy sculpt. She's a master. Ask questions about that, anything.
Let me go find my crown real quick.
Exactly. She'll craft one for herself. That's what you should do.
I've thought about that. I'm not going to lie. I've totally thought about that. I'm like, I could make myself a crown.
You should. An epoxy sculpt crown. But also like polymer clay on top of it too, because you are a master of both. But there aren't many epoxy sculpt masters. That's why I like to highlight that about you, because it's a little more niche. Anyway.
Yes. I don't use it as much as I used to, but it sometimes is crazy to me that that's what I first used exclusively.
I know, it is crazy.
I'm like, how did I only use that? That would have taken forever. But what is my saying that I say all the time in my group? I work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that from the get-go.
Yeah. We drag you kicking and screaming into all sorts of.
You did.
Like ultralight clay too. You were like, I hate this.
Oh God, I threw a fit.
I'm only doing this because of you guys and complaining about how heavy cups are. I hate this stuff. And now you're like,
now I use it all the time.
All the time. You're using it.
This is ultralight. All right.
Yeah, this is 90% ultralight. And it's so freaking light too.
And this is still really heavy.
Is it? Mine's super light. I was gonna use this cup today, and then I opened it, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't cleaned it out. I'm not gonna use that one for my big cup."
I have totally done that before, where I just am like, "Oh, I'll use this for the first time. Let me go fill it up," and I open. Oh no! Like there's glitter and epoxy.
Yes, that's exactly what's in here. Is glitter and I don't know what. And I'm like, oh, not gonna use that one.
Yep.
Use a different one. could have pulled something off my shelf, too. But I didn't.
I know.
And that's another thing we're going to do. Each week we'll use a different cup and we'll highlight our cups. Except I don't have anything fun and fancy. I have a Starbucks cup that I got in clearance, and it was like $5.
Boo.
I know,
It's
exactly.
In a cup holder. Boo.
Exactly. So I'll highlight this one. I taught this one in Kelly's mentorship group on how to make this. So this is what I'm going to highlight today. And it's not, this is my cup of the day, my podcast cup of the day. And it's not finished because I ran out of gold. I ran out of gold vinyl. So it's not done. And I have one for Kelly that's also not done because I ran out of gold vinyl. So that's why you don't have one at your house, Kelly. What's your cup
on Amazon? I'm sending you gold vinyl right now so I can get my cup. My cup of the day, is my Halloween Town tumbler.
Halloween Town.
I love this cup so much. It just turned out exactly how I wanted it.
I don't think I've seen Halloween Town. I think maybe once.
Well, guys, this was a great first episode, and unfortunately it's going to be our last, but, it was really... Ma'am! Are you serious?
I don't think so. I knew exactly what it was and where I was from, but I don't think I've seen it.
It's a classic. It's on Disney Plus.
I've seen all the others. I've seen Hocus Pocus. I've seen... Well, what are the other classic Halloween movies?
You froze. I'm like, what are the others, Christina? I was waiting to see what the rest of this list was, and then you stopped. I'm like,
I've seen Hocus Pocus 2. I wouldn't call that a classic, though. You don't like it. I love it.
We'll save that topic for another day.
For the Halloween episode?
Yeah, there you go. We know what I'm going to wear on the Halloween episode.
Oh, yes, we do. That is the cosplay. Now I'm really like, what other Halloween movies are there? I can't think of anything. Leave us a comment with Halloween movies.
You're like, I'm telling you. Honestly, most of the ones I think of are like horror movies. I'm not into horror movies.
I don't really like horror movies either. But I've seen Jason, and which is it called Jason?
Friday the 13th, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. I love how we're both just like glitched and we're just like.
Well, you and I have been glitching nonstop lately.
Oh, that's
one thing we've talked about a lot.
That's just my brain.
God. Like, yeah. Like the fact I glitched again. We have talked so much lately about the fact that our brains are like not functioning. Like, I don't know if early onset can happen in your 30s, but it might be.
I feel like your brain is where my brain was like 6 months ago. Mine was really bad. Oh, yeah. Mine was really bad.
Mine's been very bad lately.
Mine was really bad. And then I got on super high dose vitamin D, and it's been a lot better.
I have been doing that. I did start that.
Yeah.
Because I've been deficient before, so I'm like, let's see if this is it. Because it's like when within a 1 week time frame, you lose an iPad at the airport, and then you spend 30 minutes before you're live trying to find your phone, only to find it's in a drawer in your craft room where you never ever put your phone. What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
And every live, it's like, okay, I'm using this tool here and we're doing something. And I put it down and I'm like,
where did I put that?
Like every time, without fail, I misplaced the tool I just had in my hand.
Oh, that's so funny.
And when I was in Florida doing my JPJ class, it was like 50 times worse because there was 3 different desks for all this.
Well, and then you have the pressure of
my own desk, yes, and then I'm like
pressure of people watching you.
Yes, and then you're trying to I'm going to each table demoing some stuff, and I kept bleeping, and I'm like, okay, where'd my X-Acto knife go?
Yep.
Where? I'm like, oh my god, this space is 5 times the size of my craft room. Oh god, I just kept, I'd have to do almost an hour. I'm like, has anyone seen my X-Acto?
It's in your hand.
That's gonna happen someday. At the rate I've been going, that is gonna happen soon.
Right.
It is so bad. It's so bad. I'm at the point of do I need to call my doctor? It's so bad.
That's how I felt. I did. That's when my doctor was like, we're gonna check your vitamin D, and it was way low. It was way low.
Yeah, I bet mine is too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our health topics.
Yes, I think this podcast will be a great representation of what's going on up here, on a daily basis, because we're going to be all over the place.
Yeah, this is how our brains work. This is a glimpse into our group chat. We should wrap it up.
I told you we were going to squirrel.
Oh yeah, this is how it's going to be.
We did 3 things.
It's fine. We're keeping you guys on your toes about what we're going to talk about, because half the time we don't even know. Clearly, no, we did good. I think we did really good. We said we talked about what we wanted to talk about, and then talked about some other stuff. So, thanks everybody for joining us on our very first episode. Make sure that you follow us on social media. Kelly's got some really cool things planned for us, and we're gonna link all that below in the comments. And what else I don't know. The Midwest goodbye. Cheers everybody. Thanks for joining us on our very first episode of Two Girls Big Cups.